Welcome to Oxy-Fuel gas cutting technique. We have this as our oxygen bottle or cylinder, the acetylene cylinder. We are all aware that the cylinder of the oxygen should be painted blue, but this is black and white. Okay. And the acetylene should be red or maroon. So likely this is red, or if you want you can say maroon. Now, whether it is painted black and white or green, the interest will be on the hose. So this is for oxygen, this is for acetylene. At least our hose here is blue. So this should tell us or convince us that this is oxygen. This is the cutting blowpipe or cutting torch. This is acetylene control valve and the oxygen control valve. We call this oxygen cutting lever. It injects a high pressure oxygen, okay, to effect the cutting. This is nozzle because we have different diameters, so we call it interchangeable nozzle, which means that this can be changed and then fixed in new one depending on the thickness of the plate that the water is going to cut. That's why it is called interchangeable. Now, always, the oxygen cylinder will be taller than the acetylene cylinder. So, in case it is painted green or different color, at least this should be taller than the acetylene one. Okay. That's that. Is there any question before you move? Any questions?
Yes. Yeah. Why might the oxygen be taller than ours?
I have no idea. Any question again? All right. Now, we have this as a flashback arrestor. And this one too is the flashback arrestor. In case of any backfire, that is controlled or arrested with the name arrestor. Okay, so this arrests a backfire, which may tend to cause explosion. We have this as the oxygen pressure gauge. Some will call it a regulator. So oxygen pressure gauge and acetylene pressure gauge. We have this as the control knob, adjusting screw. Same thing is here as control knob and adjusting screw. Now oxygen has right hand thread, so clockwise, and acetylene is left hand thread, so anti-clockwise. And there's the distinction between them. So in case you are changing new bottles, you have to know how to hold the spanner, where to open to and where to tighten to. This is the opposite of this one. Okay, all right. Now when you come here, come closer, and then I'll capture this one. Now, the control knob, when it is opened, we have this as the cylinder pressure gauge and working pressure gauge. Now this control knob is going to turn only the cylinder pressure gauge, and then the adjusting screw is used to also increase or decrease working pressure gauge. So we have a cylinder pressure gauge and working pressure gauge. And once again, the control knob is used to control the cylinder pressure gauge. And adjusting screw is used to control the working pressure gauge. Same thing also applies here. That the control knob of the acetylene or the fuel gas, some will call it combustible gas, some will say flammable or inflammable. They are all the same. So the knob will control the cylinder pressure gauge or the cylinder pressure. Then the adjusting screw also controls the working pressure or the working pressure gauge. All right. Now we have to test. Of course, we have here as blue and here will be red. All these are indications to segregate between oxygen and the acetylene. That fuel is anything which burns to produce heat, light and power. Oxygen does not burn. but support combustion. So oxygen is not a fuel gas, rather this is a fuel gas. All right. So we're going to test by opening the control knob. The pressure from the cylinder is now known. And if I'm going to cut, then the digestion screw is used to increase the working pressure. So as I turn, then the gauge will also read. Okay. You will choose either 1 bar, 2 bar in that order. So this for the oxygen. Is there any question on that? Any question? Okay, come back to capture the fuel gas. As I turn the control knob, then this will also move. And then the digestion screw is used to increase the working pressure. It could be 0.5, 1.0 in that order. So based on that, I think we have this as the trolley to transport the gases from one place to the other. That's the end. Unless you have a question to ask. Any question? All right, we are done. If you don't know, I mean, if you are ignorant, then you may debate that they can all be used for cutting. Gas cutting. I think this one is ideal for welding, okay, and grinding. When the flame is lighted, the welder might see it to be green, and this will help you to see it to be somehow yellow. Okay, so this is not ideal. I'm not condemning, but it is not ideal. The word is ideal, not recommended for gas cutting, but rather this one. You see, these are glasses. This isn't a glass, and because of this being a glass, so it will help you to see the film to be green. At least the effect of the eye when using this is less than this one. All right, so we are going to start by lighting up. I have this as my spark lighter. So spark lighter and spark lighter. So spark lighters are here. And make sure that you also have some nose protector. Of course, I'm using this as my nose protector. And they're my gloves, even though they are old, but still I will wear it. The first is to open the acetylene. Okay, small. Then increase the flame. You see the smoke. That's why you must have some ear protector on, right? So continuously increase it and then introduce oxygen. Once the oxygen is introduced, all the smoke will vanish away. So we have this as new carburizing flame, carburizing. So carburizing flame is set. I can go on further to have neutral flame. Neutral. Now carburizing is more of the acetylene. Okay. And neutral is equal quantities of oxygen and then acetylene. Then we have the oxidizing. More oxygen. Okay. And in cutting, at least a preheating is done first. You're going to preheat the plate, the metal, to its liquid state before pressing the oxygen cutting lever. the Facebook one, yeah. You can use your elbow, okay? And for people, if you want. So preheating, I'm preheating it. So preheat it. I hope you're watching it. Then, I take the button. So that's one. I'll cut that. Another one too. So the first is the painting again. This one. Look at the way you Then after you are done with the cutting, switch off the green first, okay? So the green first, and then the oxygen. So now I have my, you see how the edges may look like? Just go down through. That's it. Okay, so that's the end of the cutting. Okay, we're going to close down. So closing down. We have this as our control knob. Now we can do both, okay, but I prefer to do it one by one. So this is oxygen. So the control knob is closed. Then when I open the control valve, the cylinder pressure gauge should go to 0. Now afterwards, unscrew the pressure gauge, okay. Now after the unscrewing is done, now close the The oxygen control valve. Okay. Now same thing will be done here. It's coming with the close the control knob and then open the oxygen control valve. When I open this, should go to 0. They are all at 0. And then unscrew the adjustment screw. Before now closing the control valve. Now this means that, now why are we doing this? So that there is no retained gas in the hoses. So therefore, we do not anticipate for any explosion. Now we are fully certain that all the gases are out. So there's no gas in the hose. Okay. So in my own knowledge, I think this is how, or the best way of closing down gas welding equipment. We are done. Any question? All right. So go to work. Now I'm done. So you're going to imitate what I did. Thank you.